Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Real Manhood Ministries, where real manhood is only Jesus Christ. I'm on here to share about Christian men and women in the church who have a relationship with Jesus Christ. So I'm on here to talk about Christian men and women in the church who have a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's what I'm on here to share. That's going to be the message for today. Christian men and women in the church who have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Christian men and women do not fall into sin. They do not fall into doing nothing wrong. They don't, that's not where they say, oh, I just fell into sin. A Christian man and woman said, oh, I just fell into sin. No, Christian men and women in the church do not fall into sin. They do not fall into doing wrong. Nope. You don't just fall in something. Okay? So Christian men and women in the church do not just fall into something. Can't blame it on the devil. Those who say that they're Christians and that they have a relationship with Jesus Christ, you don't just a Christian man and woman don't just fall into doing something wrong. They made a choice to do that. Okay? So that's what I'm on here to share about Christian men and women in the church who fall into doing stuff wrong. But they try to say that they just, I just fell into it. A Christian man or woman does not fall into sin. They do not fall into doing stuff wrong. Mm-mm. I'm finna share what it's all about. Because it's not about just falling into something. This is all about the church. The church. Those who say they're Christians. Those who have a relationship with Jesus Christ. So here we go. Christian men and women in the church. The church. And when I'm talking about the church, I ain't talking about no building. I'm talking about the people. Christian men and women. Christian men and women do not fall into sin. They do not fall into doing wrong. That's incorrect. It's a choice they make. A Christian man or woman who have been set free and they cussing or doing stuff wrong, they made a choice to do that and fall into that. Mm-mm. It says in James 1:13, when tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me, for God cannot be tempted by evil, neither does he tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own desires. And when it has conceived, it gives birth to death. And when sin is fully grown, it gives birth to death. So a Christian man or woman that choose to do something wrong, they can't blame it on the devil, they can't blame it on Jesus. Christian men and women still have a choice to make. So when a Christian man or woman choose to do something wrong, okay, it's not that they fell into something. No, they made a choice to do that. We still have to make choices as Christian men and women who have a relationship with Jesus. So if a Christian man or woman choose to do something wrong, they made that choice. They was drug into that. Okay, when they got tempted, they gave into it. So Christian men and women in the church they don't fall into sin. No, it's a choice they make. It's a choice. The Bible says, choose this day who you're gonna serve. So when a Christian man or woman gives in to what the devil is tempting them with, they made a choice to do that. So in the church, I pray that Christian men and women are listening to this. Christian men and women do not just fall into doing wrong. They don't fall into doing wrong. They make a choice to do that. Yep. He says, so when tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me, for God cannot tempt or be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desires and enticed, and then the desires have conceived and give birth to sin. And when it's fully grown, it gives birth to death. So yes, there is nobody's perfect. It's not about perfection, but Christian men and women in this world today, when the devil is tempting them and they give in, they made a choice to do that. Okay? Nobody just falls no Christian man or woman just fall into doing wrong. They made a choice. We're not robots. So nobody just fall into sin. Nobody falls into doing wrong. I've been tempted many times by the devil. The devil tempts me with a lot of stuff, but I got Jesus Christ to help me say no. It's a choice. I'm making a choice to rely on Jesus' power every day. Okay? The world I live in is full of sin. The world is full of sin. Okay? It's full of the wrongdoing. But Jesus is giving me power, his power to say no to the things, to the wrong things in this world. Yes, I've been tempted. Being tempted as a Christian man is not a sin, but giving into it is. So when the devil is tempting me, I'm relying on Jesus' power. Romans 8:11, the same power that raised Jesus Christ up live on the inside of me. So when the devil is tempting me with things I've been set free from, I rely on Jesus' power. It's all about Jesus. But a Christian man or woman does not just fall into sin in the church. They make a choice to do that. It's a choice. They make a choice. So we don't just fall into doing wrong. Okay? They drug away by their own desires. Okay? So Christian men and women will be tempted. Temptation will come. But when the temptation comes, Jesus Christ is giving me power to say no. A Christian man and woman that open up their mouth and cuss somebody out, guess what? They made a choice to do that. You see a person that say they follow Christ, but they cussing people out. They're making a choice to cuss. That's an area, maybe that's an area that they need to let Jesus deliver them from cussing. Okay? So Christian men and women, they make a choice to go and sin and do wrong. It's a choice. Okay? Nobody falls into sin in the church. They make a choice to do that. That Christian man or woman that's cussing, they need Jesus Christ to deliver them from cussing. It's not about perfection when you got a relationship with Jesus Christ. It's about relying on Jesus' power. That's what it's all about. Bye-bye.